Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is sponsored by the Jewish Communal Fund, empowering you to give strategically and Jewishly. With JCF, you can simplify your charitable giving, access funds for emergency relief, and make grants quickly in times of crisis. Open a fund with as little as $5,000. Then, make grants to IRS-qualified charities on your own timeline. JCF's donor-advised funds make it easy to manage your giving, maximize your tax savings, and make a lasting impact. Open your fund by December 31st to lock in 2024 tax savings. Learn more at jcfny.org. That's jcfny.org. Ever ponder the age-old question, how do you mend a broken heart? Well, Hadassah doctors do it every day, literally, with groundbreaking methods and cutting-edge technology. Tune in each month to the Hadassah On Call podcast as we take you behind the scenes at Hadassah's hospitals in Jerusalem, where medical pioneers create life-saving treatments. Meet oncologists discovering new ways to treat cancer, surgeons using new software and implants for severe spinal injuries, immunologists working on replacing the EpiPen, and more healthcare superheroes. You'll also get tips for staying healthy and hear stories of patients whose lives have been transformed. Ready to be inspired? Search for Hadassah On Call wherever you get your podcasts.
My daughter, she said that my teacher today didn't come because her son went to the war. So this is for a girl, 3rd grade, something that she cannot understand. I mean, how the son of her teacher can go and make the war in Gaza against the people of my father. To explain to a kid this situation, you have to be a very good parent, actually.
Hey, I'm Ishi Harman, and this is Israel's Story. As you know, we're in the midst of our Wartime Diaries series, which is an attempt to collect slivers of life during these endlessly difficult days. The war has been incredibly tough on parents. I mean, just understanding what's going on, factually, emotionally, politically, morally, that's all difficult enough. So having to then also explain it to your kids is practically impossible. But if that's a challenge that almost every parent here has felt since the start of the war, the parenting tightrope that Anwar ben Badis has had to walk is unique. See, Anwar's Palestinian and is married to Sari, an Israeli Jew. They have a young daughter, Hili, who's 8, and goes to the bilingual hand-in-hand school in Jerusalem. So figuring out what to say, what not to say, how to balance the dueling narratives and identities, it's all personal in Anwar's case. It's as if the entire conflict, with all of its barbed complexities, exists within his home. Anwar came to our studio in Jerusalem for a conversation with our producers Adina Karpuch and Mitch Ginsberg. Here he is.
Hi, my name is Anwar ben Badis. I'm 45 years old. I live in Jerusalem. I come from mixed family, Muslim and Christian. My mom is Christian, my father is Muslim. My mom is Arab, my father is not. He's a Berber from North Africa originally. That's why my name is Ben Badis, is Algerian name. And my wife is a Jewish woman. So this family is special We have a kid. She's amazing. And we try our best as parents to protect her in this not easy place, offering her also the hope that the future is going to be better. My mom was born in Jerusalem, not far from here, actually, in Baqa neighborhood. Her house is there still today. But in 1948, as you know, during the year of the Nakba, she had to move out of the house with her family to Nazareth. So I grew up in Nazareth, up north in Galilee, till the age 17. And in 1995, I came to study my first degree in Jerusalem, in Hebrew University. And the first thing I did is going to see the house. I remember very well, it was very, very beautiful moment. I also saw the hospital where my mom was born in Jerusalem, which is today Little House in Baqa Boutique Hotel. And in this street, which is today Yehuda, my mom spent 12 years in her life. And during all the years, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, always she told us about her stories in Jerusalem, her life in Jerusalem. So when we came back to Jerusalem to study, most of my brothers and sisters, it wasn't really a strange place for us. The story, the places, the streets. I love the city. And when I met my wife, Sari, it was in 2009. And the meeting was a little bit strange because I was invited with friend to a party. It was in Yehuda Street, in the house next to my mother's house. So entering the house, I met Sari there. She has a beautiful smile. And if you are in the 30s, you know how to distinguish between true, real smile and just a Hollywoodian one. So it was something very special. And we talked about her work, her life. And she told me that she is the daughter of a grand rabbi.
Oh.
Yeah. And we are coming, each one with a baggage, with kind of, we are not anymore maybe teenagers. So we came with this idea that we know exactly that this meeting can lead to something, and we also were aware of where we are.
And did you feel any contempt towards her because she was living in one of your family's homes?
If I tell you no, I'm lying. But we are trying all the time to discover this word. I'm not going in a relationship with someone expected. Someone that you know the culture, the background, you know the family, maybe you know the language. It's a new word for me, totally different. And you reach a point that you say, okay, interesting. I'm going to discover, I'm going to dig more in this relationship to see what kind of things you can find common. And with time, I discovered that we are very similar, actually. Today, I always say that every relationship is a mixed relation because people are different and similar in many things. For example, I come from a very, very Marxist communist family. And when I told my father that she was born in New York, my father said, do you remember all the demonstrations that we had? And always we were screaming that America is the head of the snake. And say, I'm going to get married to this woman in New York City. So it was shocking for my father.
Was that more shocking than her being Jewish?
He never mentioned the fact that she's Jewish.
Can you take us into your home during the early days of the war? Give us a sense of what that was like?
If you are going to talk about October 7th, for us as a house, I say it wasn't surprising because we are inside the Palestinian society a lot. We know and we feel. You cannot, just be surprised and say, wow, it was a surprise. No, things are very, very bad since a long time. Maybe not for the Israelis, but things are very bad for Palestinians. So smart people like Israelis should expect that you cannot be all the time in the good side of the thing. Life is good. You can do anything you want. At the same time, there is next to you a big jail. Closed place, let's call it. Jail is for bad people. And we started to listen to the news in order to see what is going on.
Which news?
I listened to Al Jazeera, Rashid Beit, we have Haaretz newspaper, and we have Al Ittihad newspaper, the Communist Party newspaper, daily one. And in this time, the first reaction was for me is how to protect the daughter. How to protect her, how to try to find the good path in order to explain to her what's happening. It wasn't easy. It's very, very, very dangerous in these days as Palestinians in this country to talk about October 7th. Either you accept the Israeli story and they will accept you, or you don't talk, or the third option is that you talk and you pay the price for it. But what my daughter did was her teacher, she asked the pupils in the class to draw something. How do they feel about what they hear from the news or parents, etc. So many kids drew different things. And my daughter drew two persons on the same paper. One with hands on the ears.
Like covering their
covering the ears. And the other person is with the hands covering the mouth. And when the teacher asked her if she can tell who is this, so she said the one who is covering the ears is my Jewish friends, and those who are covering the mouth are my Palestinian friends. And I think that it's showing that she understood the dynamics between the different groups in the class, but also in the house. I mean, I didn't talk for a long time. I didn't talk about the war because it's dangerous to talk, as I mentioned. And her cousins in Jerusalem, Jewish cousins, they never ask her, never, about, and it's kind of they don't want to hear. Everyone is inside his story, I call it bunker, and doesn't want to be exposed to the other story, which is something very, very not healthy.
What's an example of that?
This year during what we call it in Israel, Hayamim al-Umiyim, the independence and the Yom HaZikaron, all these days. And in our school, we have also the Nakba Day, which this year, for example, it was cancelled by the Ministry of Education. They decided, no, not in your school. You just remember the Jewish side of the days. So we decided as family, for the first time, not to participate. And it wasn't easy for Sari, because Sari decided not to go to the Jewish days as parent, because they cancelled the Palestinian. So we say, okay, we're not going to anything this year. And we are going to a place to be far away from all this, to be for a few days.
You mean you went out of town?
Yes. And the second day, Sari said, I don't feel good. I need to go back to Jerusalem to be with my family. I say, okay, which is something, again, challenging. You are not alone in life now. We have kids. And we need always to be careful what to do and what to say. In the end, after long discussion, we agreed that we remain far from Jerusalem not for 5 days, but for 3 days. So always we succeed to find the way, the path to continue. Because we know that we have a beautiful daughter that we need to protect her. We have this in mind all the time.
And were there moments since last October 7th where you and Sari haven't been able to see eye to eye?
Yeah. I have a brother He's a doctor, and now he's in Gaza. He's a volunteer doctor with Doctors Without Borders. And when Sari heard from him that he decided to leave Haifa, big hospital in Haifa, and to volunteer in Gaza, in the same time, her brother-in-law is a soldier, also went to Gaza. And the idea of going to Gaza, Palestinian who is going to Gaza to work and to help Palestinians there, and at the same time, an Israeli guy who went to Gaza in order to be a soldier there. I said that my brother is going there to help people. And this Israeli guy, her brother-in-law, he went there to, and you can find the verb to use it. I mean, he went there to soldiers killing. So she said no. Both of them are in kamikaze mission, which means both of them can be killed there. And she didn't accept the fact that, say, my brother went there in order to help people. So this kind of approach about the same thing sometimes can be very, very hard in our life. It's not easy, challenging. She thinks that sometimes I'm very, very tough person. And I'm a very cold person because I'm a very rational person. But I think this is the best way to keep our relationship in good shape in these days. It's not easy because it doesn't help to be very sentimental.
And how does Healy make sense of all this?
Healy, when you ask her once, if you want to ask her, tell me about yourself, she always will answer you the same answer. I am not half and half. I am also Palestinian and I also Jewish, which is something that I am very relieved as a parent to see that my daughter corrected her teacher once about this, that people are not parts, people are entire. So today in our life, we try to encourage her to continue on this path.
Does Healy ever ask, like, why don't we move somewhere more peaceful?
She says, I mean, she hears that from her mom and from her cousin from America. She has also cousin from my side in Austria and in Germany. All the time they say, come here, leave it, but I don't feel that you give up and say, okay, yalla, we go. No. I mean, life is not a suitcase that you put it and move. So why take from her this opportunity to be in a beautiful, uncomplicated place, but a beautiful place, and to see all the sides of the place? For me, this is my country. This is my land. I'm not a visitor. And I hope for Healy she also can move in this world. She can see different things. Sure, it's important. But it's important at the same time that she knows that this place is her really home.
יש לי ילדה קטנה, אף פעם לא בוכה סתם. יש לה סיבות משלה, שומרת לעצמה. כל מה שהיא שומעת ומה שהיא יודעת, בעיניה היא רואה הכל, והכל היא מבינה. ואם תראו כזאתי, ילדה שלי קטנה, לא רוצה לישון עכשיו, אז שנינו במיטה. ואמא שלה אומרת שרק תהיה בריאה, שרק שרק תהיה טובה כמו שהיא כבר בעצמה, כמו ילדה שלי קטנה, כמו ילדה שלי קטנה. הילדה שלי לוחשת, מדברת בלי מילים, בלילות הלבנים איתה קול קטן מלטף, וכשהיא מחייכת אליי זה תמיד מכל הלב, ואני שוב מתאהב בה, ובכל יום זה מתגבר. ואם תראו כזאתי ילדה שלי קטנה, לא רוצה לישון עכשיו, שנינו במיטה, ואמא שלה אומרת שרק תהיה בריאה, שרק תהיה טובה כמו שהיא כבר בעצמה, כמו ילדה שלי קטנה, כמו ילדה שלי קטנה.
Cue the fireplace and your favorite fall movie. There's nothing better than a cozy evening at home with a glass of First Leaf wine. First Leaf is a personalized wine club that delivers right to your door. Sounds magical, right? They get to know your favorite tasting notes, which varietals you enjoy, and whether you prefer sweet or dry wines. So in every shipment, you get bottles tailored to your unique palate. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/fall to get your first 6 wines for just $44.95 with free shipping.